Hi, my name is Steve Wolf, and I'm a professional stunt and special effects coordinator for movies and television shows. I'm also a licensed firearms instructor and own the largest paintball park in Austin, Texas. My work always involves managing risks and designing systems to allow dangerous things to be done safely. Whether I'm working with staged combat, explosives, or paintball guns, there are rules that must be followed in order to stay safe. Obey the rules, and everyone has fun. Ignore the rules, and someone gets hurt or killed. In July of 2007, a church in Forest Hill, California thought they could provide some fun for teenagers by letting them play paintball in the backyard. But what started out as fun ended as tragedy. That day, a 5-year-old boy lost his eye, shot out at point-blank range by a 13-year-old with a gun like this. How could this happen? Let's take a look. A paintball gun is not a toy. It shoots a .68 caliber bullet at speeds up to 350 feet per second. That's over 200 miles an hour. In fact, guns like this are so dangerous that some of them, like the one in this accident, come packaged in a box where the warning is actually larger than the name of the product. Safe handling of any kind of gun requires maturity, and it's widely known that teenagers often lack the maturity to maintain proper safety vigilance. That's why devices like this must always be used with trained adult supervision. It even says so right on the box. I'm used to working with kids. I have 3 boys of my own, and I operate a state-licensed summer camp for kids. I know that even kids who seem mature don't always behave just the way they should when there's no grown-ups around. And even when they are behaving well, sometimes the equipment is confusing. This type of gun is one of the trickiest. You see, paintballs are pushed out of paintball guns by compressed gas, like air or carbon dioxide. With most paintball guns, when the tank is on, air is ready to flow through here and charge the gun. But when you take the tank off, which is done by unscrewing it, and you remove it, all of the pressure inside the gun is released, and the gun is inert. But with the ion gun, which is the gun that was used in this accident, it's similar in the respect that when it's hooked up, it fires. But what's different is that when you remove the tank, expecting that the gun would now be inert, there's still enough air in there to cause a deadly shot. Because there's a variety of guns that each work differently, it's essential that paintball activities be hosted by someone who's knowledgeable about the risks associated with each type of gun. I don't doubt that when Mike Hendricks took the hopper off of his gun and removed the source of air, he thought the gun was safe. But it doesn't really matter what Mike thought. Obviously, the gun was still extremely dangerous. A person knowledgeable about paintball guns and some simple safety rules could have foreseen this accident. And all it would have taken to be knowledgeable about this gun's dangers would simply be to read the manual, even just the first 2 pages. So where was the safety person? Who was checking to see if these kids knew how to use their guns? The organizers of this event didn't provide active adult supervision. If anyone was in charge, they certainly didn't enforce the safety rules. They let paintball guns be fired in an area where bystanders had no protection from the players. Anyone in the area could have been seriously injured. Also, the speed of a paintball coming out of a gun varies widely even with the same gun, depending on what type of gas is used, the temperature, and the type of paint. To make sure paintball players don't hurt each other too badly, the guns must be tested and calibrated every time they're used. It's a simple process. The gun is put over an inexpensive radar, it is fired, and the speed is read on the gauge right here. Adjusting the velocity down to a safe speed is simply a matter of taking an Allen wrench, putting it in here, adjusting it, and then retesting. As you can hear, a paintball hits with tremendous force. And what about barrel covers? They're designed to catch a paintball if it's fired by accident. It takes nothing more than a simple piece of cloth inserted over here that anyone on the site can see to keep this thing from doing any damage. A $2 barrel cover would have prevented this accident if it was on Mike's gun. When you add up the unmanaged risks, it's astounding. No active adult supervision, no one knowledgeable about the guns, no one controlling the speed of the projectiles, nothing to separate players from spectators, a gun that's counterintuitively dangerous, no barrel covers in place, rules have to be posted, they have to be observed, and they have to be enforced. These are not spitball guns, they are deadly weapons. They can cause serious bodily injury. Let's take a look at the power of these guns. I've lined up a few objects about the same distance from the barrel of this gun as Nathan's eye was from the muzzle of Mike Hendrick's gun. An apple, an empty soda can, an orange. Take a look at the area of total destruction caused inside this orange by a single paintball. You can see and hear the power of these guns. No doubt that's what makes it enticing to young men, but it's also what makes it deadly and further points out the need for active adult supervision. I'm all in favor of exciting sports, of shooting, even teenagers playing combat games. But if you don't take the least concern for safety, for keeping kids from getting seriously injured, then you have no business hosting dangerous activities. And you owe Nathan Ernst a debt you can never repay.